So, I am so glad that Mike knows about the JSA and the fact that his father was Stripesy and that his stepsister is Stargirl. Because if he didn't, they would all have been screwed. Hi guys, my name is Maria Park and this is Approach to Nerd, and I'm here with my spouse, River Park. And we are here to talk about the season finale, part 2 of Stargirl. Oh boy. So I said this in my Umbrella Academy review, so I'm going to say it again here. Um, I don't know what it is about the final battles of really cool series. Like in Umbrella Academy 2, I was specifically annoyed that the scene we saw at the beginning of season 2 of Umbrella Academy, where everybody was using their powers and they were fighting, Russia, and it was just this big, really kick-ass fight scene, was not used in the end of the season because that was such a lackluster experience, revealing blah, 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 blah. And in the case you haven't seen the Umbrella Academy, I'm just going to stop right there. But it was very lackluster. And I kind of felt like this was lackluster in terms of the battle, too. It was really fast. I mean, there were highlights to it. There were really cool fights, segues and scenes. And there was a lot, going on with every character. But it just seemed so fast. It was like somebody was just pushing the fast forward button. Mm-hmm. I'm already usually annoyed about watching shows, especially on the CW, because I have so many commercials. So I feel like the shows are probably like 21 minutes long, and then it's like 100 commercials. But it was so weird. It's like we're in the underground layer, then we're like, Courtney and Pat are like fighting technically, and then Yolanda and Rick are off trying to wake up, Shining Knight. At the same time, Beth is basically trying to figure out with Chuck how to help everyone against the gambler who's hacking, the little blocking systems they have to basically not be controlled by the machine that are turned off in the layer. And it's just so much. It's like everybody's bam, 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 bam. So like that whole battle to me was very lackluster. I love what they did with Solomon Grundy. I honestly though, Solomon Grundy's always been an anti-hero / anti-villain for me. So, I always, my heart goes out to Solomon Grundy in some versions in the comics. So I like that they played it out like he was just like when he was getting his butt handed to him by Rick, he was just covering his face and he looked so pathetic. And it was like, no, stop hitting him, And so I do like how they did that, even though it's mostly CG. And the Solomon versus Stripe was awesome. Him ripping the leg off and arm off and beating Pat with it was awesome. So like there's so many scenes, but it just seems like, they got to the goal really quickly. So that was really annoying to me. But
the villains just fell down.
Like, yeah,
it's just like boop, and then they go down.
I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you. That's something else I actually don't have on my. I usually take a few notes of stuff I want to say. And I don't think I wrote that down, but you're absolutely right. One of the things that bothered me specifically was Brainwave. Mm-hmm. Brainwave came out masquerading himself as Henry Jr. to trick Yolanda when he could have just fried her freaking brain. It's like, well, where are your friends? Really, dude? You can't just read her mind? You can go see where her friends are. So yeah, Brainwave went down easily.
And for a really smart guy,
that's pretty dumb.
Say that to somebody who's gonna know you full of
that was so out of character for this character for what we've seen TV version wise. I was not happy with how Brainwave went down. But yeah, so let's talk about some stuff that we let's just talk about things we liked and stuff that was like, what the hell. I love the satellite coming out of the out on the field because that is straight out of Stars and Stripes. I think I even have that image in the previous episode. It is straight out of Stars and Stripes. I do like that they recreated that. So Yolanda kills Brainwave after she does this whole speech about, God thinks killing is wrong. She didn't hesitate. She was like,
oh no.
She's like, Brainwave's dead. I mean, that's it. He's dead. And she's just standing there like, I killed him. Well, I think the machine's over here. So yeah, that's going to be some issues, Her first kill, too, and she's really religious, so it's going to eat at her. I think some stuff's going to go down with Yolanda in season 2. Chuck is destroyed. I knew it was going to happen because Chuck was calling, Beth bestie, and they were like talking about being BFFs, and he just, basically have this bond. And then Icicle took him out, man. I was so sad for Beth because honestly, I know that Beth is now friends with Courtney and Rick and with Yolanda, but she bonded with Chuck in those goggles. So I felt so bad. And him saying, Beth, help me. It was so sad. I was like, oh my gosh. I don't think I felt that bad in the comics, So that scene was done really well. Courtney and Pat. I was so impressed that she finally started calling Pat dad.
Touching moment when she gives the gift at the end.
Oh, the cup, the what is it? The greatest dad, world's greatest dad mug that she meant to give to her real bio dad, and she ends up giving it.
Starman.
Yeah, ends up giving it to Pat because she figured out finally. I mean, how many episodes did it take? This is my dad. He's been there for me. He's my dad. That I am like that. That's an A+ for me. Mm-hmm. The whole stepdaughter and father relationship between them has definitely has made me have new hope for the Dugan, Whitmore clan. And I really was not hating on Barbara and Pat. The kiss was kind of a little like, but I'm going to take it because
it's more than we got.
It's more than we got.
And they had a little bit at the holiday party.
They did have a little PDA, and I think he might have tapped on her butt too.
Her in a special way.
Yeah, I think because he knew what was happening under that. Oh, never mind. But how crazy was Icicle? Icicle was like, I'll take Courtney. I'll protect her from the others. And don't you worry, we'll go somewhere and start over. I'm like, what is happening? She's like, you have lost she looked at him like, you have lost every piece of your damn mind.
He did.
I was like, yeah. But I love when Pat was on the roof and he's like, I'm here to protect my wife. He's like, you don't have any powers or weapons. What with? He said, with our daughter. I was like, he knows. At least the man knows. Even though Pat was a very good fighter in the comics. So, but, whatever. So yeah, Icicle is dead. And how Icicle died is because Mike is baller. That's how. Mike, they're all fighting, getting their butts kicked, blah, blah, blah. He knocks Courtney off the rooftop area, and Yolanda's able to save her, but of course nobody's thinking Icicle can retaliate while we're having this bonding moment, and so he's getting ready to use his ice powers on them, and Mike comes rolling in on a truck, bam, with the dog in the passenger seat. Can I be in the JSA? I'm like, that's Mike. That's why you tell Mike from the get-go, because Mike plays video games, Mike is strategic, Mike is sneaky, and Mike is smart. You let him know up front what's happening, and he will help you out. And he did that when Sportsmaster was attacking his dad, and he got that drill and drilled a hole in his back. I mean, Mike is just like, he's on defense. So they just need to look. That should be their secret weapon. Everybody's falling on the ground. It doesn't matter. Mike's coming. It is what it is. I really thought when the dog was running off, I think with the chicken or turkey leg, that he was going to go in Courtney's room and find the Thunderbolt pen, but probably not. I'm on the fence. Like I said last week, I really would love for Mike to become the Green Lantern. Because, there was a lantern ring. But then I'm on the fence about the fact that Jade could be introduced. And she's a Green Lantern. So I don't know. It's so crazy.
But why did they drop that in the first, few episodes? First episode maybe? And then not pick it up again ever?
I don't think, well, right now they're not the CW, but they're going to be. But that is classic CW. They always put Easter eggs in that you'll probably have 3 or 4 seasons later. It could be season 5 if they have that. But by the way, in that cup,
it's 5 years younger.
Courtney's going to college. What's this pen? I remember this. But I don't know. I think everything happens in this series for a reason, because they are. One thing I will say about Jeff Johns, if you know anything about his sister, and actually at the end of this episode, it does say in honor of her. His sister died in an accident, and he created Courtney after his sister, who had the same name. So Jeff Johns is very protective of this character because it's so personal to him. So yeah, I think he's going to do his best to, and this is just me saying it, even if CW tries to do stuff, I think Jeff Johns will like, not this one, not today, mother F's. So I've got confidence that it's going to be, season 2 is going to be good. So let's talk about some of the stuff that was dropped in the episode. Now we do know that Shining Knight is going to find the rest of the soldiers. So he's leaving to go find them. So that gives me hope that we're going to see a lot more people coming. But so the battle with Shiv, which was okay. Shiv did kill her daddy. That was freaky. He shouldn't have locked her up. That girl is a psychopath. I mean, but she gets knocked down, but at the end you do see her, rummaging in this room, and she finds this like greenish black diamond. It's supposed to be black. It is the Heart of Darkness. The Heart of Darkness was basically forged in Apocalypse, and it's supposed to be able to encase or imprison the Angel of Wrath, who is Eclipso. So she's holding it up, and she's like, I see you in there, Eclipso. And I'm like, yeah, that's how you talk to the Angel of Wrath. That's what you do. She's crazy. So, yeah, Eclipso is going to be a bad mother F if that's who they're bringing in as one of the villains next season. We also saw the Shade. He is back, and you see him looking at the picture of the Injustice Society and kind of looking at him. And, yeah, the Shade is an interesting character, and I'm very, very, very excited for what he's going to bring along with Eclipso. Rick did not kill Solomon Grundy, so Solomon Grundy's running around somewhere too. I don't know what the heck he's doing, but he's running around.
He's living his best life.
He's living something, but he's out there. And then at the end, we had Sylvester Pemberton is still alive. Not only is he alive, which is so weird. I mean, at first I thought, well, is he from another Earth? But then I thought, wait, I don't think that's true. But to be fair, in Crisis on Infinite Poop, they did show Stargirl's universe in Earth 2. So they're on Earth 2. So, I mean, it's possible he could be from Prime Earth and it crossed. Or he may have survived somehow. Or I don't know. I really think he's going to end up being Skyman, because if you read Infinity Inc., he is Skyman in Infinity Inc. And he did basically work alongside, Rick and Yolanda and Courtney and a lot of other members. So if that is going to happen, then that means we have the opportunity of seeing a lot more Infinity Inc. characters coming in as well, which excites me. So, but yeah, I think in the beginning it'll be probably a power struggle for the staff to figure out which one of them to go to, because the staff also chose him. So that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. You alive? So I'm really interested to see how that plays out. But I mean, it was a good episode. It's just the battle was so fast. It was just so fast. Yeah, it just seemed like we built all of this up to this big, plan, and the plan was like over in like 15 minutes.
How can Dragon King fall that easily to his own?
Oh, I believe Dragon King can follow the Shiv.
Yeah, but like in a battle, in the epic endgame battle, like how do you make that character die like that, that quickly without doing anything?
He really didn't do a lot. He kind of said
he didn't do
something's
anything.
wrong. Then he went and fought Shining Knight and was basically having the upper hand of Shining Knight, and probably would have stabbed Shining Knight had Shiv not ganked him from behind.
Yeah.
But that just shows you she is a loose cannon. And so she's crazier than Daddy. She's crazier than Daddy ever was. He should have been scared of her, He should have never trained her or given her any powers because she's nuts. So, and she's perfect because that's how she was in the comics. She was absolutely out of her mind. So, but yeah, there's so many things now. Are we going to be able to fix Chuck? Yes. Dr. Midnight will be in the next season. I'm 1,000,000,000% certain of that. Will we get new members? I think so. I mean, again, I think Sylvester will be Skyman for sure. Will we get Jakeem Thunder? We need to. I think that if they don't have Jakeem Thunder in season 2, that is a missed opportunity and stupid. I really want Mike to have some kind of powers. Now, again, in the comics, he is Pat Jr., and he's a really good mechanic, and he basically is training to take over from when his dad doesn't want to do this anymore. So, him helping on to fix Stripe and inventing things, that might be in his wheelhouse. I mean, I think they were kind of hinting towards that with the science fair, with him developing the chocolate volcano and having an interest in that. I kind of feel like that's the direction they were going. Of course he's excited about that. So I mean, if he can't become a superhero that way, he becomes, superhero support. Whenever I say that, I think about Sky High. That's a good movie. But honestly, without Pat, the JSA would have been screwed a lot this season. So I think it's an honor to be that way. But who knows? I think the good thing about the CW is they reinvent characters all the time. So obscure characters end up getting powers or becoming heroes that were never that way in the comics. So, well, we never know. You never know what might happen. So I am super excited about that. Yeah, overall good episode, right? I think we liked it. I like to bring my spouse in with me because River, who is a little intoxicated right now, just a little, is very, very camera shy. So anytime I can get River to be on camera, it's amazing. I don't know if River can ever be on camera without a little bit of help, but you never know. We'll see. We're working on it. But yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed this episode. It's just the only problem that I have with things that I was talking about, like Brainwave falling way too easily. And the pacing of that fight scene was very, very fast. Like, it was just fast. I mean, if you blinked, it's like, boom. Mm-hmm. It just is like that satellite was coming down. Because, I mean, just like when Icicle was going off to stop Beth, because if she hacks in, it's not going to matter what happens down here. Well, obviously it does, because they just took out the satellite. So even if you stop her from doing that, the satellite's gone.
She made quick work of that, too.
Yeah, she was like, her and Chuck were on that. So, yeah. I want to know what you guys think. What did you think of the season finale? What would you have done? Do you have any theories for season 2? Leave me a comment below and let me know. If you would like to sign up for jury duty, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to know who's next on the nerd ballot, hit the notification bell. Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys.
Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it, but hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.